Taoiseach, first of all, I'd just like to say, first of all, and this is most important, how sorry I am and the other members of the Rural Independent Group for all of the families who have been devastated by the loss of loved members of their families. And I also just want to put on the record of the Dáil a very special friend of our own, Jean Tagney from the Black Valley, who now is on day 26, I think it is, of being in an induced state fighting this virus. And I hope that Jean will come out the right side of this battle. He's a great character. The Tagney family are very close friends of mine for many, many years. And my heart and soul is with him in his battle, and I want him to get better. Taoiseach, many compliments are rightly being paid to our nurses and healthcare workers. Tweets are being put out by government and by people. But what I want you to do, Taoiseach, is I want you to pay them. Pay them the allowances and the agreed deal that was there already before COVID. And I want them to be paid immediately because they're only looking for what's rightfully theirs. With regard to the COVID payments, seasonal workers are losing out very badly on the €350 per week. They should also be included in that, because if this had come a couple of weeks later, those people would have actually been, they would have been there from the 6th of March on, and they would have got paid. Also, people who are over 66, they're not looking for €350 per week. What they're saying to me very clearly is that if they could get the balance between their pension and 350. In other words, people who are over 66, for instance, there might be a couple, like a couple that were on to me yesterday, who were running a public house, paying their taxes all their years, and now they find themselves, their income is gone, and they're left with just their pension, but they still have all the bills of that business that they have to keep the building there and keep it intact. I would also like for you, Taoiseach, for you, if you can at all, I'm sure you're aware of the situation. I know I've spoken again today to the Minister for Justice about it directly on the phone, about the direct provision centre in Carasaveen and the public healthcare concerns that we have for that centre, for the people that are in it, for the people who are working there, and for the people in Carasaveen and in South Kerry. And will you please make a statement on that? Also, with regard to the Leaving Cert students, I'm terribly disappointed that the students themselves weren't listened to, because they really feel that they weren't. There was a great campaign organised which I supported, and those students weren't listened to when it came to the setting of the Leaving Cert. Also, with regard to our bee farmers, during the week I met with our own Kerry representatives of the IFA, who diligently put together a very important programme of what they need and what our bee farmers and what our family farmers in County Kerry and throughout the country need. And for example, there is money, €25 million that was there from last year, which should immediately be made available to our bee farmers. Also, as Deputy Michael Healy-Rae has rightly stated, the October payments should be brought forward to July, which would make a massive help to our family farms, to their budgets. It would just get them over a hump. And I also wish to, because they're in a desperate way, and I also wish to point out just an example to what local authorities are going through with regard to a funding crisis. In Kerry, our tourism sector has worth over €600 million alone to the local economy, which is now expected to take a loss of close to €500 million. This will be detrimental to our local economy. The effect it will have on big businesses, which will be huge. They will not be able to afford their commercial rates, which have now been rightly frozen, and I thank the government and I thank our local authorities for that. But again, taking Kerry for an example, their projected rates income when passing a budget last November was 42 million. It is now looking like, from initial projections, to hit as low as 24 million. And they have now sought a compensation package from government so that they can carry on their activities, their essential services. And this is not just the case with our local authority, Kerry County Council, but also the other local authorities throughout the country, who I also want to compliment for their work, as I want to compliment the people in University Hospital Kerry, in Killarney Community Hospitals, Kenmare, Carasaveen, Valentia, our nursing homes, the staff that are in them, that are working so diligently in this major fight. The Gardaí, and again our local authority workers. Everyone is putting their shoulder to the wheel. I want us all as politicians to work together, Taoiseach, and to do this in a very hard-working fashion, to try and ensure that, first of all, we do what is most important, that is protecting the health of our citizens. And also, secondly to that then, trying to get the economy going, trying to get the wheels going. And I want you, Taoiseach, to give our people optimism over the next couple of days. I know you have very important announcements to make, but I'm pleading with you. I know public health concerns is the most important, but also giving people something to look forward to, giving them confidence, letting them show that there is leadership in the country and that we're all going to work our way out of this together. To the older people who are over 70, who are inside in their homes, to let them see that we're fighting on their behalf and that we as a country are going to rise out of this the same as we've taken on everything back over the years. We'll take this on and we'll win. But taking into account, of course, health care, which is of vital importance.